Hello, my name is Alexis Madigan. I attend Standish Sterling High School. To start off our evening, we would like to thank the first responders and the law enforcement and ask for a moment of silence for the victims of the Oxford school shooting. Thank you.
Ready, 10. Ready, go. Present, on. Order, on. Color ground, recover. By ones, forward, march.
Good evening. I'm Colby Gross, a first-year law enforcement student from Western High School. We now ask that you please rise for the national anthem and the Canadian national anthem, sung by Bay City Western Select Choir.
Good evening. My name is Ethan Burrows, a first-year law enforcement student, and I attend Garber High School. Please welcome Reverend Brenna Overland to the stage. She will be leading us in the opening prayer tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. On behalf of First Presbyterian Church, it is my honor and my privilege to welcome you all here this evening. Would you join me in prayer? O Christ, acquainted with all our grief, prepare our hearts to enter this space tonight. O God of all comfort, lead us humbly into this place of heartbreak. O Spirit who moves in the midst of our sorrow, fill us with compassion. Fill us with compassion that we would not cross this threshold armed with easy answers, but would instead enter bearing the balm of divine tenderness, expressed in honest affirmations and small acts of service. Teach us even in this hour, O Lord, how to better mourn with those who mourn, that their burden might in some way be made more bearable by our sharing in it. O Lord, in this space of holy sorrows, make us quick to listen and slow to speak, reminding us of how the only comfort Job received from his friends came not from many words, but from their willingness to sit in silent sympathy with him. So let any spoken comfort we offer tonight be that of real friendship with those who grieve. The sharing of such sorrows is indeed a good and holy work, O Lord, for you also, Jesus, willingly entered the wounds of this world and wept. You have promised us that wherever we gather together in your name, you will be present. So be with us now. In this wounded space, O Spirit of God, let our presence be sensed as a token of your presence. Let our concern bear unspoken witness to the redemption of your love, that one day will work even this utter and unimaginable loss into glorious reversal. Now speak, act, and comfort, O Christ. Shepherd us into the sharing of this sorrow. May our hearts be as your heart here, our voice as your voice, our hand as your hands, and our tears as your tears. Amen.
Hello, I am Emily Labazinski, and I'm a junior at John Glenn High School. I'm a first-year student at Bay Aranet Career Center in the law enforcement program. Superheroes are not that hard to find. We have them in our own community. The law enforcement program gives me hope for our future and lets me know that as a community, we have those future heroes. What is a hero? Webster's dictionary says, a person who is admired or idolized for courage, outstanding achievements, or notable qualities. But what does that really mean? It can mean anyone who makes an impact on another's life and is there when in need. In the law enforcement program, we learn about the training and situations that men and women in this career path have to go through. They are strong people with big hearts. I would like to thank everyone for doing what they do, so thank you. Thank you for giving your life to the badge and the community. Without people like yourselves, we would not have the safety we have today. I have personally never had anyone in my life be in this field of amazing opportunities. But I hold a deep respect for everyone willing to get up every day, not knowing if they're going to see their wives, husband, or even kids again. The traits they all have to have are strength, bravery, kindness, and determination for their career. How many times can I say thank you for everything that you all have done, from the smallest thing to the biggest? Our officers will be there to help and listen. In modern society, not many people want to go into this brave career path and do not see everything good our officers do. But we want to change that outlook. Let others see what these men and women do to help them and make sure they are safe. Even when people look down on the officers, they stand tall and strong. I appreciate all of the officers that have stayed strong and stayed in their careers. In conclusion, we are here to honor the brave and strong men and women. They are all worthy of a thank you. We are here tonight to remember those who have fallen and thank the families for being here tonight. Our community is full of heroes, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Good evening. My name is Gordon Webster. I'm a senior at John Glenn High School and a first-year student at the Bay Aranet ISD Law Enforcement Program. My whole life I wanted to be in law enforcement. It has been one of my biggest life goals. I would like to start off by saying thank you all for coming to the 19th annual Project Blue Light. I would like to personally show my gratitude to the active duty officers as well as the Delta College cadets training cadets for being able to make it here. I would also like to thank the families and friends of the fallen officers who have been able to make it here tonight. I have the utmost respect for you and your loved ones that you have lost. As a student of the Bay Area Neck ISD law enforcement program, I have been honored to see many of the situations that law enforcement deals with on a day-to-day basis. I would like to speak on behalf of my class when I say, what you do does not go unseen. We appreciate all the hard work and dedication that every officer, deputy, and trooper has done to protect our communities. We are gathered here today to commemorate all of the fallen officers and their families. We appreciate all of the heroes that gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect our communities. I would like to honor the memory and the service of the fallen heroes that lost their lives in the line of duty. To quote Bill Clinton, there is no greater burden nor greater honor to bear the loss of a friend, a colleague, or a loved one. 625 law enforcement officers this year alone were not able to go home to their families. It is humbling to know that these officers gave their lives to save ours from danger. They will always be loved by their friends, families, and coworkers. I'm humbled to see so many officers who face dangerous situations resolve things peacefully with patience and kindness. Law enforcement is always under some sort of stress, whether it's from the job, family at home, their schedule, or just overall mental health. It seems to amaze me how most, if not all, officers stay calm, cool, and collected when they do their jobs. A couple of wise men once told me, it's like a switch from the time you put on your uniform to the time you take it off at the end of the day. All law enforcement need to have this mindset. I want to give recognition to all the officers that are serving, and I also want to recognize the officers and their families that gave their lives to save ours. You will truly never be forgotten. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to the 19th Annual Project Blue Light Program. My name is Sydney Clough, and I am a proud junior at Meridian Early College High School. I am a first-year student at the Career Center, and I am the student director of the Project Blue Light Program. Already, after only 1 year, I have learned so much and gained so much respect for the role that law enforcement everywhere play across the country. It is currently a scary time for law enforcement due to the media and social depictions, but the reality of the job is humbling. These men and women are courageous, strong, and tactful. Thank you for serving our communities. On behalf of the Bay Area ISD Career Center Criminal Justice and Law Enforcement Program, I would like to sincerely thank you for being here today. My grandfather was a straight trooper for 31 years. Throughout his career, he was stationed in Warren, Bridgeport, Bay City, and worked as a sergeant of the Tri-City Post. He retired working with the Traffic Safety Division out of district headquarters. I've been exposed to the ins and outs of law enforcement since a young age, with the many family members in this career field. I have a special place in my heart for the men and women who go into this field, despite the trials and tribulations they will have to deal with, and I have the utmost respect for every officer that puts their life on the line. Thank you. We are here tonight to commend the officers that once served, that are currently serving, and especially those that gave their final moments fighting to keep others safe. What's unfortunate is that the majority of the departments here tonight have known someone or lost one of their officers to a law enforcement-related passing. Although any loss is devastating, these men and women went out every day knowing the risks and deciding that saving lives and protecting communities was more important to them. Go out every day and put their lives on the line to protect us. Some give the final sacrifice, and for them we will be forever grateful. Try not to think of their sacrifice as a devastation, but rather as them passing doing what they loved and as an act of heroism. I would like to thank the families and loved ones of officers for being here tonight, for your support of our officers through thick and thin. I would like to thank the families of fallen officers for being here tonight, as your loved one will not be forgotten. I am proud to be the student director of Project Blue Light because of the men and women I have the honor and privilege of working with, meeting, and getting to commend. I hope that you leave tonight feeling appreciated. I hope that you leave tonight knowing that what you do on a daily basis for us does not go unnoticed. I hope that you leave tonight knowing that the fallen officers are remembered and honored. On behalf of everyone here tonight, I say thank you for your courage.
Thank you. My name is John Gabriel Brazo. I'm a senior at Penn County High School. I would like to introduce a retired officer that retired in 2021, Mike Jerebick.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. I would just like to say thank you and to mention what an honor and a privilege it is to be here tonight with all of you. With 32 years in law enforcement experience, until my retirement of October this year, I've had a wonderful career as a police officer. Tonight we are here to remember and honor those of our comrades who have made the ultimate sacrifice. They have given everything along with their families whose holidays, birthdays, and other special occasions will never be the same without them. When asked to speak here tonight, I was very moved and I thought long and hard about trying to find the right words to say to the family of the fallen officers. I also know that in the audience are several officers that I have worked with for decades, and then those who have recently decided to enter the field, such as the Police Academy cadets, and currently working their way through the Police Academy. No matter how I know you, or even if I don't know you, please know that one of the lasting impressions I will take to my grave is the camaraderie that we share here as brothers and sisters of one big law enforcement family. But tonight I would like to share my journey through the law enforcement family with you. I promise I'll keep it brief, all right? This next line is going to scare you. I was born in 1961 and put up for adoption at birth. I was raised in Bridgeport and had one other brother who was also adopted. We did not live too far from the Michigan State Police post number 37 in Bridgeport. So growing up, I was always seeing MSP out and about, and I wanted to be a police officer. Then the show SWAT came along, not to mention Clint Eastwood and a few others, made being a cop look kind of sweet. But never on TV did they show you the mountain of paperwork that goes with it. After high school, I ended up being a meat cutter. It was one of those jobs that paid enough to keep you there, but not enough that you wanted to do this your entire life. Then in 1989, I applied with the Saginaw City Police Department and was lucky enough to be hired. I was then sponsored by SPD and attended the Delta College 44th Police Academy. And on December 8th of 1989, I graduated from the academy. And then 12 weeks after that, successfully completed an FTO program and was finally on my own. I was then assigned to patrol services on second shift from 3 p.m. till 11. I remember telling my first FTO how much I loved this job and I would do it for free just to be a cop. Needless to say, those guys, they thought it was kind of funny, and they still to this day never let me forget that statement. All was going smoothly until one evening in October of 1990. At 6:32 p.m. on October 24th, I was dispatched to the 1900 block of West Genesee for a man with a gun call. After calling on in the area, I made contact with this individual, and that's when things went terribly wrong. I stopped to speak to this man and investigate, in fact, if he was armed. I was standing by the back door of the driver's side of my patrol car, and he was standing by the back taillight on the passenger side of my car when he drew a revolver from his coat pocket and began firing. I was hit twice in the chest, once through the right arm, twice in the back, as I ran down the side of my patrol car to get away from him. As I'm running down the side of my patrol car, time began to slow down, auditory exclusion set in, and I had an adrenaline rush like I've never felt in my life before. I didn't know if I was going to see the end of my shift that night. This feeling was so strange as I was running down the side of my patrol car. I remember thinking, I can't die out here, who's going to cut my grass? And if you've seen my yard, it's not that big of a deal, okay? But I survived the gunfight and won that day. After returning the fire, the suspect was fatally wounded. But something I just wanted to share with the new recruits is the feeling to never give up under any circumstances. It has always been said we will fight harder for those that we love than ourselves. Never give up. Your family needs you to return home at the end of your shift. Then in 1991, I tried out for the Emergency Services Team, or SWAT team as it's commonly called. In 1992, I was then transferred to Investigative Services, served as a homicide detective until being promoted to sergeant in 1996. Okay, and then returned into patrol services at that time. I always have said that Saginaw Police Department was the best 20 years of my life, and I wouldn't trade anything for it. In 1991, I began assisting at the Delta College Police Academy with vehicle stops, building searches, EVO, and scenarios. In 2009, I retired from SPD, and went on to work full-time at Delta College Public Safety until I worked till October and finally retired. This has been a remarkable journey, to say the least, with all of the friendships that I've made all over the state of Michigan with so many officers from so many different agencies. But with all that being said, I just want to share something on a little more personal note with you. Law enforcement within my family. My son, Brandon Jebb, is currently a police officer in Saginaw. He has around 5 years on the job, and our family could not be any more proud of him. But going back the other way in history, my father-in-law, Charles Campbell, who was a World War II veteran and also a vet of the Korean War, joined the Saginaw Police Department in 1952, and he retired in chief in 1983. When Brandon was hired in Saginaw, my wife thought it would be really kind of neat for Brandon to have the same badge number that his grandfather had when he started as a patrolman. Well, believe it or not, my wife has connections at SPD too. Chief Wreath thought this would be a good idea and issued Brandon badge number 120, is what Charlie had when he was hired on in '52. My wife Shelley also worked at SPD for 27 years as SPD's lean coordinator, working closely with the state of Michigan and lean field services before retiring in 2011. But then remember, I mentioned being adopted. The reason I did this is to let you, to let you know that this is going to be hard to believe, but my birth father was also a Saginaw police officer and had worked with Shelley's dad in the 1950s. I did not meet my birth parents until I was 27 years old, but you can imagine how proud he was. Excuse me. When I told him I applied and then I eventually got hired by SPD. To this day, I tease my son Brandon about staying on the job for another 30 years, and maybe our family could get one of those centennial plaques like farms get, for 100 years in the business. But anyways, but to the families here tonight of the fallen officers, to current officers and to future officers, we thank you and we salute you. You are the true heroes supporting us who do this job. My wife, Shelley, can speak to this from so many angles. Think about this for a second. It started with her dad. When she was born, he was a cop. And then I forgot to mention my brother-in-law, Kevin, was a Saginaw County Sheriff's deputy and retired from Saginaw County. And then Shelley's husband, myself, and then our son, Brandon, also being police officers. But she pulls this off very well. To our family members that are here, we love you all and could not do this job without you and your support. Our society has changed so much over the last 32 years. This last couple of years, people have turned their back on the police or demonized them. No matter what you think or what you feel about the police, we will always be here and we'll always do what is right. I truly believe that the pendulum will swing back the other way, putting officers back with getting the respect they belong and putting them back in high regards. To the new recruits, I say to you guys, good luck, God bless you, always do what's right and be honest. To the current officers who keep our streets safe, you have more support than you will ever know. To my friends, I say thank you for the support and friendship. It has been a pleasure, and I will always cherish our friendship. And finally, to the fallen, please know we will never forget, and please know the law enforcement community and the communities they have served will forever be grateful for their sacrifice. Please know that. Then to the students who organized this evening's program, you guys are a class act. This program only gets better with each passing year, and I think I can say on behalf of all of us here tonight, we all look forward to watching your careers grow and seeing the officers that you will become. I got to experience that personally with a lot of you coming through Delta College. It's been great, and you guys are off to a great start. Okay, life has a funny way of bringing us all together and creating a bond that not many people will ever be able to experience, like the bond in law enforcement. Being a police officer is truly a calling and something you have to want to do. This is the first time in 32 years I no longer carry a badge or I'm a sworn officer. I don't know how I feel about this yet, and I'm trying to work through this adjustment. But I do know that there are no regrets, and I still love seeing the people I've taken this journey with. Okay? There have been many sad times, many scary times, and even many angry times. But this is truly something we can all be very proud of. So in closing, please do not forget to tell the closest people to you just how much they mean to you. Spend all the time you can with family and loved ones and enjoy the Christmas season. Don't always assume that you can put it off to tomorrow. Live each day like it could be your last, and be sure your family knows just how much that you love them. Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and may God bless all of you and keep you safe. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Morgan Dufresne, a first-year law enforcement student and a senior at John Glenn High School. Please welcome Chief Stevenson, a 34-year veteran of the Peel Regional Police Service, the Ontario Provincial Police, and the Sault Ste. Marie Police Service. In 1994, he joined the OPP as a constable. Chief Stevenson participated in several corporate and operational roles and eventually achieved his Queen's Commission in the OPP as a First Nations negotiator. He further served in the following significant roles: Deputy Director of the OPP Intelligence Bureau, Director, Behavioral Sciences Section, Bureau Commander, Operations Policy and Support, Director of Operations/Support OPP Central Region, OPP Academy Director, Special Advisor to the OPP Commissioner Measurement, Acting Bureau Commander Organized Crime and Enforcement, Director Criminal Intelligence Services Ontario. In June 2018, Chief Stevenson was appointed Chief of Police for the Sault Ste. Marie Police Service. In addition to his role as Chief, he serves on the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police Board and several other subcommittees. He is a recipient of the Queen's Order of Merit, MOM, for distinguished service. Chief Stevenson has a Bachelor of Arts Honors degree in Criminology from Carleton University with a double major in Law and Psychology, a Master's of Arts degree in Criminology, and a Doctorate of Education at the University of Toronto. In addition to his policing experience, Chief Stevenson has held several adjunct assistant professor positions at university and colleges in Canada and internationally. A keynote speaker at international conferences on data mining intelligence, Chief Stevenson is an advocate for innovative and technological approaches to public safety. Please welcome Chief Stevenson.
Is it okay if I take my mask off? Ontario rules, Michigan rules are sort of similar. Well, thank you very much for having me tonight. Can you all hear me? Real honor, real privilege to be here. So, I'm going to start off with two stories, maybe three. The interesting thing is, these stories have a common theme. You know, recently heard of your school shootings and the 4 families that lost 4 young children. I saw up on your screens Don Doucette from Sault Ste. Marie that was killed in the line of duty back in 2006. I also, as Chief of Police, went through a shooting in our own service about 2 months ago. A young officer, 26 years old, trying to stop a domestic violence situation, goes to a call, sees flashes. He said, Chief, I thought I could get behind the car. And then my right leg went limp. And if it wasn't for their training, fellow officers, back, Freddie Brown. That officer wouldn't be here today. So, you're probably wondering, where is he going with this? I'll tell you. To the grieving families of fallen members, to the Venderman family in Sault Ste. Marie that are nurturing their 26-year-old back to health, to the families of Don Doucette, to the 625 law enforcement correction officers that lost their lives and their families, there's a common theme in the people that did this to us. And the theme is this. As you know, I teach in universities around the world. I've been in 3 different police services. I have a wonderful career of 35 years. But I have to tell you, there's a common theme in who does this to us. To you guys. To you men and women out there. To those 4 kids in Oxford County. These people should have been dealt with early on. And there's 2 areas we deal with people. One is the family. The second is our system. How do we prevent this? is what I want to talk to you today. How do we stop this from happening? I've been to many police funerals, close friends, both from PTSD and from the bad guys. But today I'm going to talk about that bad guy. I'm going to call him Little Jimmy. Every community has a Little Jimmy. And there's two ways of catching Little Jimmy before he comes to be a monster. The first is the family. Where is the family today? Is the family today what it was 30 or 40 years ago? Can I see some head nods? Is it the same? Why is that? Why is it that the parents of little Johnny can allow him to grow up and put my young officer's life at risk? My own son, 26-year-old Joseph, is a Toronto police officer, 11 Division. My two nephews are Ontario Provincial Police officers. How is it that somebody can put that life at risk? Where is the family? It's institutions like this church that we have lost. It's institutions like the family. How often do we sit around the evening dinner? You know, as I was sitting here making my notes, I was thinking, everybody remember Leave It to Beaver? Give me a show of hands. Well, that's my era. What was the father's name? Anybody remember? Ward. Do you remember how Ward used to sit at the dinner table with his three-piece suit on? And we all think, well, that's sort of corny. But you know what? They had a respectable family dinner. They talked about what everybody did that day. That was the opportunity for the family to notice that something is wrong with little Jimmy. That's the opportunity where friends and family can say, there's something wrong with that kid. But we let it go. Why do we let it go? Why don't we stop that? Sorry about the camera. I'll get back here. I know I only got, my good friend said I had 45 minutes. I knew she was joking, so I'll get to the point. How often do we check on our kids? How often do we ask them what they did today? How often do we see when they get secluded? How often do we see what their drug abuse is like? How often do we see fentanyl in their cocaine and we wake up one morning and they're dead? If the family was what the family once was, I honestly believe we can start to stop the tragedies that we're both looking up on our two screens here. The tragedies that you had at Oxford County. Oops. I got to tell you a quick story about my dad. We were farmers. Lot 21, Concession 10, McNabb Township, Renfrew County, near Ottawa, Ontario, you know, the capital. And when I'd have friends over for Sunday dinner or through the week, and I knew my dad was upset at me when his eyebrows sort of turned down, or if we said something funny at the family table and we shouldn't have said it, I knew I was in trouble, right? But there was that respect in the family for authority and parenting. Now, I'm not saying I turned out the best. My brother's a reverend. He turned out better than me. But I'm just saying that respect was there. That awareness of who you're raising, your siblings and your children. That unit, that team, that church, that family values. My second failure of the system. As behavioral sciences director, and thanks for that lovely introduction, I cannot tell you how many times as the behavioral sciences director we would find a little Johnny at 12 to 15 that was violent, that did not respect anyone. And everybody in the system, from the school system to the mental health system, to the sports coaches, to the church pastors, to the probation, parole, and corrections, everybody did this. And then when he's 22, we wonder, why did he kill that person? Why did he confront my officer, Mark Venderman? Beautiful family. How did that happen? I'll tell you why it happened. The family and institutions do this. Willful blindness. They look away. They don't deal with it. Listen, I've been in policing and bureaucracy for 35 years. I've watched little Johnnies grow up in the system. And I'm not crying about little Johnny. I want little Johnnies to be stopped before they do this to us, before they do it to every one of you here and every one of you there, and my own family. I want the system to check it. So when they're in the school system, the teacher doesn't just look away. The school system gets services for him or her. And we make sure there's continuity of services through the system. People that took our brothers, our friends, our family, our uncles, our dads away from us, it's not a coincidence, folks. There's a common theme. People didn't act on that person, that child, when they were 5 to 8 years old. They did not act. And we're holding our 19th blue light to remember the families of many of my friends and many of yours. I know it's not your standard law enforcement discussion, but as both a chief of police and as an academic, I've taught in many universities. And the argument has always been, why does the system allow this to happen? Even if we saved one, it could save many lives, uniformed police and civilian. So what's the solution? Let's get back to community. Let's start to watch when you're at the soccer game and you see that kid act out. When you see that kid act strange, go over to the family, talk to them. Is little Johnny okay? The school nurses, the teachers, the principals, the pastors, the choir friends. Let's do something about that before they put this on us. To bureaucracies, to boards of education, to the health industry, let's get out of our regulatory worlds and think about people, and let's make sure they get help before they cause this harm. To the families here who've lost, there's nothing I can say ever to change things. I can tell you, as the chief, going through a 4 a.m. phone call from my own young officer getting shot. He's at the ICU. My deputy calls me. We get there. We get the family there. We get him flown out. He has a 4-hour surgery with 6 different surgeries. They save his leg. None of you serving, retired, young students in law enforcement ever want to get that call. When you talk to the parents at the hospital and you look at the absolute horror in their face, it tells you that we need to do more. Law enforcement, bless our hearts, are the first line of defense. We deal with them at 4 in the morning, much like Ryan's case. And society has to do more to stop these monsters. Bless your hearts. Thank you very much.
Hello, I am Gage Granston, a first-year law enforcement student and a senior at Bay City Western High School. I am pleased to introduce Mary Fisher. Ms. Fisher is the mother of fallen Deputy Kevin Sherwood of the Clare County Sheriff's Department. His end of watch is 10/9/2003. For nearly 20 years, Ms. Fisher has been a huge supporter of Project Blue Light ceremonies to honor our fallen heroes. Please welcome Ms. Fisher.
Can you see me? Thank you so much. Welcome to all of our heroes, our survivors, and supporters of law enforcement. It's such a privilege and an honor to be here tonight. If I cry, I guess I'm not going to be the first one, right? Thank you, Dwayne, and all your students for the hard work that you've put into this occasion, for bringing us together to honor those who gave us a supreme sacrifice and to those who risk their lives every day to keep us safe. It is also time to let their families know that they are supported and appreciated for their sacrifices. To those of us who have a fallen hero, thank you. It means so much to have them remembered. 18 years ago, Deputy Kevin Sherwood did not come home from his shift. Our world ended. He left a devoted wife, 3 young children, and a mom and a dad, and many others who miss him terribly and had the wind knocked right out of them. Somehow we woke up the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and I woke up today. For years, I waited for the old me to come back. Unfortunately, this never happened. That me is gone. But as of this year, a new me has been born. I might call it Mary 2.0. Is my heart broken? Sure. Do I still cry? Yep, nearly every day. But I would guess it must be something like losing a limb. That limb is gone, but you still learn to function around having that missing. Just a few more stumbling blocks. Landmark events have taken place that I clearly dreaded from that day. Graduations, weddings. His oldest daughter was married this last June. Announcement of a baby's birth. She just did that a few weeks ago. There will be a new baby in July. His other daughter is engaged to be married, and his other daughter will be graduating from college. We celebrate them and we work our way through it. We experience the joy as we should. We embrace them and we find that we have more courage than we ever thought possible. This year, I'm embracing Christmas for probably the first time in 18 years. And as my granddaughter says, our house looks like Browners threw up in it. Festive to say at least. I'm glad Mary 2.0 is here, and now I go on and remember how to laugh. The main thread of my existence is Blue Lives Matter. I have a wardrobe fashioned around it. I even have thin blue line shoes. Tattoos, yup. Wanted to get a half sleeve depicting the thin blue line and 10/9/03, but the tattoo artist told me my skin was too old, so I'm still trying to work my way around that. I still believe that if I saw a law enforcement officer in trouble, he or she would see an old lady with white hair charging after the aggressor. I hope that never leaves. Thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you for the privilege of letting me speak to an amazing group of people. I am truly humbled. A song from the 70s keeps running through my mind by the Byrds, Turn, Turn, Turn. A time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late.
As a token of our appreciation, we would now like to present a wreath to the families of fallen officers that are here tonight. We would ask when your officer is called, a family member please stand, and a law enforcement student will bring a wreath to you. Family representative for Officer Owen Fisher, Flint Police Department. Family Representative for Deputy Kevin Sherwood, Clare County Sheriff's Department. Family Representative for Officer Patrick O'Rourke, West Bloomfield Police Department. Family Representative for Deputy Kelly Vermash, Huron County Sheriff Department.
Family representative for Trooper Brian Igelski, Michigan State Police. Family representative for Trooper Larry Forrider, Michigan State Police. Family representative for Deputy Chad D. Shaw McCracken, County Sheriff's Department, Kentucky. Family representative for Officer Raymond Rexer, Bay City Police Department.
Family representative for Corporal Matthew Edwards, Taylor Police Department. Family representative for Officer Darrell Black, Long Beach Police Department, California. If there are any other family members of fallen officers that were not called, please stand and a student will bring you a wreath.
We would now like to show our appreciation to those who are still serving in our communities each and every day. As we call your department or agency, would one representative please come forward to accept a wreath? Please proceed towards Logan as he will show you where to stand. Representative of Huron County Sheriff Department. Representative of Midland Police Department. Representative of Monitor Fire Department. Representative of Bay County Prosecutor's Office. Representative of Bridgeport Township Police Department. Representative of Michigan DNR Law Enforcement Division. Representative of Tibbetawasi Township Police Department. Representative of Saginaw City Police Department. Representative of Bay City Department of Public Safety. Representative of Tawas Police Department.
Representative of Sault Ste. Marie, Canada Police Department. Representative of Saginaw Township Police Department. Representative of Delta College Police Academy. Representative of Delta College Department of Public Safety. Representative of Pinconning Police Department. Representative of Saginaw Valley State University Campus Police. Representative of the Zilwaukee Police Department. Representative of Michigan State Police Tri-City Post.
Representative of Hampton Township Police and Public Safety Department. Representative of Clare County Sheriff's Department. Representative of Bay County Sheriff's Department. Representative of Bay County Sheriff's Correctional Division. Representative of Lennon Police Department. Representative of Essexville Department of Public Safety. Representative of Midland County Sheriff's Department. Representative of Shiawassee County Sheriff's Department. Representative of the Michigan Department of Correction. Are there any other police departments that were not called? If so, please come to the front and a student will give you a wreath.
President on. Order on. Carry. Colors. Color guard. Recover. Flag ones, forward, march. Detail.
Hello, my name is Mary Jane Monroe. I'm a student at Whittemore Prescott High School and a first-year law enforcement student. Let's bow our heads in a moment of silence for our fallen officers. And now, if everyone would, can we give a big round of applause for the Western Choir?
We would like to thank you all for coming tonight. I am Taylor Adams, a first-year law enforcement student from Garber High School, and it has been our privilege to be a part of the 19th annual Project Blue Light. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we are unable to have refreshments, but we would like all of you to know that during this Christmas season, we will have all of you in our hearts and prayers. Please drive safely and have a great rest of your night.